like to go ahead and kind of go utilize some executive authority and ask the Honorable Senator Ronnie Staff to come up and do his presentation this time.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor, members of council. Let me quickly say thanks for the opportunity to be here and address you, and also express my appreciation for your service. So real quick, and I mean quick, so I really appreciate the opportunity to come quickly. So there's a group that we have in Williamsburg County called the D32 Foundation, and that foundation was formed for purposes of trying to raise funds and be a part of litter awareness and a team designed to help combat our litter problem in the area. And so they read the article that was in the newspaper about the need for enforcement cameras. And so I've been authorized tonight to come and announce that they've approved $1,000 of funding that should be sufficient to purchase 3 cameras. And as we understand it, there's some software or something that has to go along with it. And so I just wanted council and our supervisor to know that we're behind you fully. And I think together we can do something about the litter problem that we've got in the county. And so thank you all so much.
All right, as it is going to be customary in Ms. while I'm in office, every year we've had what was called back then the State of the County Address. I felt it necessary this time that to give my department heads, elected and appointed officials, the opportunity to talk about what is going on in their respective departments. Now, I don't make up just Williamsburg County. Williamsburg County is made up of a team of us all working together to include our delegation. And we couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for the people and our employees and the citizens and their understanding in Williamsburg County. So for that, I have asked each of them to give a short 1 to 3 minutes, and trust me, I'm timing y'all, on some of the things that are happening, some of the positive things happening in Williamsburg County. This is our opportunity to show our citizens as well as our other members of council what we're capable of and what we have done in the year 2019. So without further ado, I'd like to call the first department, which is our alcohol and drug department. He will give his own quick introduction.
Good evening. My name is Charlie Fulton, and I'm the interim director for the Williamsburg County Department of Alcohol and Drug. The Williamsburg County Department of Alcohol and Drug Commission has faced many challenges over the past few months. We have seen the transition of 2 executive directors and other pertinent staff. During the transition of these staff persons, current staff members have stepped up to fill the void left in those positions. The following are successes that the agency has had and continue to have. We are becoming embedded into the schools where we provide prevention education to the school district staff and adolescents through the prevention and adolescent counseling to our students to the dangers of drugs. We have implemented our MAT program, which is a medication assisted treatment program, and a program is being held in Williamsburg, in King Street and Hemingway offices. We have doctors who work along with us. Hope Health is now a partner. They provide, through an MOU, the medication for our opioid addicted clients. Our staff, we have a very small staff, but our staff are nationally certified to provide addiction counseling. We are increasing our partnership with law enforcement and first responders in education and prevention of in the opioid epidemic and possibility of overdose on opioids. We are in process of hiring staff, the treatment director and a financial administrator. We're also looking at increasing our clinician staff because we're looking at an influx of opioid clients. So we want to be proactive and put people in place through training and education to address those matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have animal care and control.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Monique McCray with Winsboro County Animal Care and Control. 2019 was a great year for Winsboro County Animal Care and Control. This year, with the help of St. Francis Animal Center, we hosted our first free spay and neuter clinic for our citizens in Winsboro County. We spaded a total of 97 animals. This was a way to help minimize the population for stray animals in Winsboro County. Here are a few of our achievements. We were invited to attend 11 adoption events, in which one was the Fur Cane Medical Party adoption event, which was held in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This was a 2-day event. In 2019, our animal adoption was a total of 178, which increased from the previous year of 24%. Our animal intake, which is the number of animals that enter the shelter, has decreased by 68% between 2018 and 2019. One way we were able to obtain a smaller intake in 2019 was partnering with St. Francis Animal Center to do the spay and neuter clinic. Animal rescue, that's when a group or organization, mostly nonprofit, saved animals from being euthanized. In 2018, our organization rescued 395 animals, and in 2019, they rescued 213 animals, which is a 54% decrease thanks to the spay and neuter program. In 2018, we euthanized a total of 495 animals. And in 2019, we euthanized a total of 243 animals, which was a 49% decrease. So our goal for 2020 is to bring awareness to Winsboro County citizens about the importance of spay and neuter and proper pet care. Awareness will help us continue to drastically lower our intake rate, which also will lower our euthanizing rate, as well as the amount of animal control calls. We're working towards being able to host our own spay and neuter program. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list is airport.
Thank you. Madam Chairman and council members, I will try to make this very quick. If I see you raise your hand, I know I must stop. Thank you. The Williamsburg Regional Airport is located 3 miles off of US 52 on Sandy Bay Road, or just off of Sandy Bay Road. We have 8 commissioners since 2013 to oversee the airport. That is something new that has not existed before. I got involved in it when I retired from the Water and Sewer Authority, and have been involved ever since. The commissioners are appointed by the council. They're from various parts of the county. They are people who know something about aviation and aircraft. There is some interest on the part of the present commission to have additional members if there are persons who would be qualified to do that. And I have mentioned that to some of the council members as well. Now, what do we have out there? We have a 5,000-foot runway, almost a mile, 75 foot wide, a full length taxiway, meaning beside the runway there's another pavement where the planes can go to get on and off the runway. We're called CKI, Charlie Kilo India. That's a designation given by the FAA. We are runway 1432, that comes from the compass. I won't elaborate in the interest of time. We have approximately 10 aircraft can be parked there on the apron. In other words, that's called an apron, the part where you can park the airplanes out in the open near the terminal building. We can accommodate a medium jet, small to medium jet, which would be designated as a jet plane that carries about 20 people. We cannot accommodate an airliner, but we can accommodate up to a 20-passenger jet. The AWOS, AWOS, that's Airman's Weather Observation System, is provided by the federal government. You can call it yourself by calling 382-3000 and hear the weather wherever you are in the world and see what's going on in King Street. There's some words there that you might not understand, but mostly it will tell you time, temperature, conditions, and so forth. The terminal building is a place to meet. We have some refreshment there. We do not have someone there at all times to look after it, but we have people there part of the time. The hangars, we have 10 P hangars presently occupied, fully occupied and paid up. We have 6 on a waiting list to use the hangars. These would be for small private aircraft, basically. They're 1,276 square feet each one. We're under the control of Myrtle Beach. We don't have a tower as such, but Myrtle Beach on the radio is 127.4. Our lighting system, which is a very important thing for an airport, is a constant maintenance drain on the budget, but we're fully up to date. We've just upgraded to all LED, and we're meeting all the requirements of the Federal Aviation System at this time. We've just signed a purchase order today for a fuel dispensing system where someone can come with a credit card or debit card and obtain gasoline. We don't have jet fuel, but we do have gasoline, and we will have a better system as soon as we can get that in. We have engaged a consultant, Holt Consultants, engineering consultants out of Columbia. We are in the process of having funded a new hangar, additional hangar, with either 4 or 5 spaces of 2,500 square feet for larger planes. That will be available in 2021, probably mid-year 2021. We have applied to FAA for all entitlement funds for the next 5 years. We will get $150,000 a year as entitlement funds. Discretionary funds, they say what you can get and where you have to use it and so forth, but the entitlement funds, we can get that as long as we're in compliance and can use them according to what we need to do at the airport. We're in good standing with the FAA and the state authorities at this time. In 2019, we had a compliance, August of 2019, had a compliance review from the FAA. Some people came and really picked us apart. We never got a follow-up letter, which I think in that case is a good sign. But they went away very happy and have been very constructive and complimentary in terms of what they said to us. The Aeronautics Commission has awarded $76,800 to C.E. Murray High School, or maybe someone here who's familiar with this, to further some teaching efforts at C.E. Murray for aviation in this county. We had 25 to 30 students there. That was October 23rd, I believe, and had quite a nice ceremony. We're doing some training of the fire department, cooperating with them. We do not have a good water supply at the airport. Okay, time to... I thought it was 5 minutes. Anyway, didn't have much more to say except we appreciate the cooperation of the county supervisor and the county council people, and things are going rather well, and I appreciate being in the conference.
Thank you. Next, we have our tax team. Our auditor, our treasurer, and our tax collector.
We got 1 minute.
Good evening, everyone. The young ladies you see here standing along with myself represent the tax offices. The taxation process involves 4 different departments, starting with the tax assessor. For those who are not familiar with me, my name is Crystal Powell. I was elected as county auditor in November of 18 and took office in July of 2019. At this time, I just want to mention a couple of highlights that the auditor's office has been working on. This year, we are trying to navigate and implement a new bill that legislature passed in the middle of July of 2019 regarding boats and motors. In the prior years, boats and motors were billed in arrears, just like real property. As of January 2020, boats and motors are now being billed in advance, just as vehicle taxes are handled. While we know this transaction will take some patience, we're optimistic that this will prevent many issues that we have encountered with boats and motors in the past. Also in the works, there is a bill to amend the Code of Laws of South Carolina relating to homestead exemption, which applies to persons who are over the age of 65, disabled, or legally blind, to increase the exemption amount from the first $50,000 to the first $75,000 of the fair market value of the home, which means that if the bill passes, those who qualify for the exemption of their home exceeds a value of $75,000, you will now see a larger exemption given on your yearly property taxes. This bill was introduced last session, and they are hoping to get it through before the session ends, and they will have to start over if they don't. I stand strongly along with many other county auditors in support of this bill, but I am hopeful it will pass. But please note that this bill has not been passed at this time, it's just in the talks. The auditor's office calculates levies, recommends and applies certain mandated levies to all assessed values. We make appropriate changes to the tax duplicate, values and assesses certain classes of personal property, and provides that the schedules of assessed values and their descriptions with the resulting levies and taxes to the county official charged with the collection of the taxes, which is the treasurer. I am thankful to have been allowed the opportunity to serve the citizens of our wonderful county. And once again, my name is Crystal Powell, your county auditor. Thank you.
Good evening. No one likes to pay taxes. The good thing this evening is we have our senator here, and we can just ask him to cease paying taxes. Do we all agree?
He doesn't.
Nevertheless, thank you, Crystal. I am Kimber Cooper, your county treasurer. Thank you all for allowing me to serve in such a humbling capacity. It's truly my honor. We are governed by Title 12, Section 45 of the South Carolina Code of Laws. Currently, the Treasurer Office conduct business in the main office, which is next door, and also our satellite office at the Chambers One Stop in the big town of Hemingway. The Treasurer's duties include collection of real, personal, and motor vehicle taxes. We collect taxes for our county operating budget as well as our debt, for the school operating debt, for our hospital, rural fire, South Lynches, and our municipalities, which is the town of Hemingway, King Street, Greeleyville, and Lane. Our collection rate, we're kind of proud to say, it continues to be between 93 to 95%. We also serve as a custodian or holding agent for the general revenues of the county and other departments. We invest any excess funds, we know how that is at this time, but if we do have some available funds that we're not using, we do invest those funds to generate additional revenue, like interest. We also serve as a paying agent of bonds for the county and our school. And we also issue decals in both of our offices. Now, two highlights of the Treasurer's Office this year, we continue to offer the advance installment payment of our taxes. This plan was initiated back in 2016. There's still less than 1% of our county who takes advantage of this plan. We had a young lady that came in today that still didn't know that we had the advance installment. So we're asking you, did you try to get that message out? We did swing the county back in 2016, along with the tax departments and some of our other departments offering this program, but there's still some citizens who do not know about it. So we're asking you all to help us with that. We currently have, when we first started, it was 19 customers. We are up to 50. So hopefully it'll continue to grow. The other item is our annual forfeited land sale. We have a forfeited land commission, which consists of Crystal, our auditor, Ms. Sharon Staggers, our clerk of court, and myself. We've had, I think, 4 sales. Our first sale was back in 2017. And forfeited land is just real estate taxes that were not paid. It went to Ms. Silas' office and no one bought it, and so it ended up going back to the county. And so what we started doing is having a forfeited land sale. And we're happy to say that we've restored 100 plus records back to the tax roll. And we hope that that continues to increase over the years. We are halfway through our real collection season. As of today, we added our second penalty to taxes. If you have not paid and you pay your taxes online, you still get to pay it without a penalty. As of March 16th, we will turn our records over to our tax collector. And before I left off her name, she does help us with the commission. We don't know what we'd do without her. So we thank her for that. So this time I'm going to yield to her because that is the next phase of the taxation process.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. Good evening, Madam Supervisor and members of council, and also members of the great audience here. I guess the tax collector is considered the cleanup crew. We're at the end of the process. It begins with the tax assessor, then to the auditor, then to the treasurer, and then to the delinquent tax collector. We are open here in our King Street office 5 days a week, in our Hemingway office 2 days a week, Tuesday mornings from 8:30 until 1, Thursday evening from 1 until 5. The tax collector's office consists of 5 individuals, Desiree McDowell, Ethel McGill, LaTanya Barr, Bettina Montgomery, and myself. And of course, I couldn't do anything without them. The mission of the tax collector's office is to encourage compliance with the tax laws of the state of South Carolina, to investigate, research, and increase collections of delinquent real and personal property taxes. We collect only delinquent taxes on real estate, mobile homes, boats and motors, airplanes, but not vehicles. Again, we do not collect delinquent taxes on vehicles. That stays with the treasurer's office. However, like the treasurer said, as of March 16th, she's clapping. As of March 16th, the 2019 records will become delinquent. As you know, it's a cycle, it's a given cycle with the taxation process. One of our continued goals is to work closely with all governmental and state offices, attorneys, law firms, bankruptcy courts, whatever we have to do in order to get the job done. The Department of Revenue, Department of Natural Resources. However, it's very important to work closely with, have a great relationship with our tax assessor, auditor, and treasurer in order to better serve the citizens of Waynesburg County. The job wouldn't get done without us working closely together. We have successfully had our Waynesburg County delinquent tax sale as required by law this past November 2019. The delinquent rate of collections has been maintained between 87% and 90%, so I'm thankful for that. Our unredeemed amount from our tax sale has decreased, so again, I'm thankful for that. In July of 2019, we have contracted with an outside agency to work with us. The name of the agency is American Financial. They've been working with us with our South Carolina personal business taxes. So we are great to have them on. We thank you all for allowing us to have them working with us. So that's something in the process. Since I'm at the end of the taxing process, I'll just close by saying we're one. The tax team is one. And we understand that, and we understand that we must work together for the betterment of Waynesburg County citizens. We thank you. We take our jobs very serious. Thank you.
Thank you. The next up is our building and grounds section.
Good evening. I'm Jesse Parker, Maintenance and Ground Director for Williamsburg County. And let's see, I'm hoping you can see this. That's your mic off. Okay, there we go. Again, Jesse Parker, Building and Grounds Director for Williamsburg County. Really, our goal is to provide maintenance and upkeep of county buildings make sure that they're a safe environment, make sure they're kept clean, to maintain sanitation of the county facilities, to ensure the appearance of several county buildings, and to keep up with the necessary repairs to all county buildings. And with that, I'll just mention a few of the things that we've done this year to some of the county facilities itself. And everybody would probably be surprised to know that we have over 60 county facilities within Williamsburg County. I think it's either 64 or 65 to be exact, and that comes under our guidance and pretty much with maintenance, just a 3-man crew. But this year we've replaced the shingles on several of our buildings. We've had metal roof repair to the health department. We had major plumbing issues at 3 of our locations, the Shavers building, the DSS building, and the Clemson extension. And most of these repairs, even though they were major, the repairs were done pretty much in-house with the 3-man crew that we have. We did a retention back earlier this year. We had a warehouse full of all kind of files, and I really appreciate all the departments coming out and helping out with the retentions. We end up either shredding or burying at least 2/3 of the records and files and that type of thing that we had that made the overcrowding situation in the warehouse. So we were thankful to get that done. Let me just say, through the year too, we lost one of our most valuable employees. She retired, and we've hired another. We didn't replace the person that retired, because those of you that know her, you just don't replace somebody of the magnitude that she did here at the courthouse. But we've hired another person, and that's working out fine. And let me see, between fax, text, email, phone calls, and other measures, we probably are contacted at least 1,000 or more different times in the run of a year. Everything is not a repair, but we still got to answer the calls. And this is what we've been doing for some time now, and this is what we'll continue to do for Williamsburg County. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, our clerk report.
Good evening. I'm Sharon Staggers, the Williamsburg County Clerk of Court and Register of Deeds. In the year 2019, our Register of Deeds Division recorded 3,434 records. That included deeds, mortgages, power of attorneys, satisfactions, but did not include the tax liens. That was a totally different record. We began e-recording last year, which e-recording is the process of electronically recording documents by submitting, receiving, and processing documents for recording via the internet. That would otherwise be sent to our county by way of mail or either brought into our office. Please remember that our land records are online from 1994 to the current, and they can be researched on www.sclandrecords.com. In our family court division, we filed 311 new cases. Also last year, the year of 2019, we finally went to a statewide system for South Carolina. We were the last state in the whole United States. We were the very last state to get this unified child support system, which we needed for years and years, and we finally, like I said, we got on board, and last year we finally implemented the statewide system, which is called the Departmental Automated Child Support System, PACSIS for short. And that was implemented in Williamsburg County in June 2019. This new system is designed to offer more payment options, enhance customer service, and improve outcomes for family court. With the new system, our office no longer send out any child support and alimony checks at all. All payments for the entire state of South Carolina are sent to Columbia, and they're dispersed from Columbia. So even at this point, any payments that come into our office, the only thing we do is bundle them and we mail them to Columbia. So all disbursements are sent to Columbia, all disbursements come from Columbia, okay? My staff and I are now gearing up for the FCCMS, which is the Family Court Case Management System that is due to roll out in August of this year. And that system is more like a automated indexing system for the court records as far as the new cases that come in for family court. Last year, we also hosted our 7th annual Back to School Bash in July at the King Street Middle Magnet School Gymnasium and also in the Bloomsville community. And as always, that our Back to School Bash is a huge success, and that was one of my projects that I started when I became the clerk of court, and every year we've done it. Like I said, last year was our 7th year, and thank you all, as always, County Council and everyone for your support as always. In December, I partnered with Legal Aid to host our first of a series of legal clinics. That legal clinic was held in the courthouse on Friday, December the 6th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's also scheduled to be held throughout the year once a month, which is usually scheduled for the first Friday. Some Fridays may be the second Friday of the month for the year of 2020. That also was a huge success and has proven to be very beneficial to those who utilize the services. In our civil division as well as our general sessions division, we've also recorded over 300 and some odd cases per division of new civil cases as well as new general sessions cases. Court is still held for general sessions at the end of the month, which is once a month, at the very last week in the month. Civil court varies. We may or we may not have civil court. It just kind of varies according to what we may have or not have on the schedule. Also, I also brought in, if you want to pick up one, this is the schedule for the new legal clinic, and the dates are actually outlined on it. And you will see, like I said, they represent the Fridays, either the first Friday or the second Friday of each month. So I encourage you, please, please, if you know someone that can utilize this information, please pick up a copy or contact our office, and it will also be posted on our website. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for this opportunity. If there's anything that we can do in the clerk's office to assist you, please don't hesitate to call upon us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, codes enforcement.
Good evening. I'm Mike Kirby, Chief Building Official and Code Enforcement Officer for the county. She wouldn't come up with Miss Sheila sitting back there, Sheila James. She's the permit tech and administrative assistant. She keeps the office and myself straight. Some of the highlights for this year: the contract company Safe Build is no longer doing any work in the county. We have, since my hiring, have taken over all the inspections, all the permit reviews, all the plan reviews, permit issuance, everything. So they're no longer working in the county at all. The building permits, plan reviews, and inspections are being done on a timely manner now. Normally, unless the schedule is full, they call today, they get an inspection tomorrow. Probably 98% of the time is that situation. We're in the process of reviewing our fees for permits, and just to make sure we're competitive with neighboring counties and see if there's any other revenue streams there that might can increase or something there. The permit fees as well as the business registration fee. We're in the process of adopting the 2018 international codes. I know that sounds crazy because we're in 2020, but the codes always run a few years behind the year you're in. They normally are adopted in July. The state of South Carolina held that off for 6 months because they made some changes to the residential codes, which I highly agree with, because they took out, if you build a new house, you had to put sprinklers in it. So the state has taken that out of the international codes for South Carolina. The biggest thing at Dr. Wright's request, we have started a proactive approach to property maintenance. And by that, I'm talking about dilapidated houses, junk cars, overgrown lots, things that are dangerous and an eyesore for the county. We have one part-time person. We've always handled called-in complaints. I have one part-time person who is handling that, and one part-time person who is doing a systematic across the county, riding the road, looking for things, starting to send out letters. We're going to start with the primary roads: US 52, 261, 527, then move into the bigger secondary roads. After that, we'll divide the county into sections and work each section at a time. I don't have an idea right now of how long it's gonna take us to get across the whole county, but we're already sending out a fair amount of letters and only been on it a few days, so. But those are some of the things we need to do. It's basically like cleaning up your own yard. If somebody comes, excuse me, somebody comes to your house and your yard is junky, they're gonna think you're junky. If our yard's clean, maybe some of the other departments, economic development, might have a little bit easier time bringing in some businesses and things like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our coroner could not be here this evening, so we're gonna go past him. Economic development.
Perfect segue, Mike. Good evening. My name is Gillian Price, and I'm the Executive Director for the Economic Development Board. I was hired in August of 2019, so this makes 6 months, so this was part of my probation evaluation. In October of 2019, I was selected to be one of the panelists at the Santee Electric Economic Development Forum. Shortly after that, in November, we were highlighted, my office was highlighted in NISA's monthly spotlight. December of 2019, our department was selected to be the Department of the Month, and I can't take credit for that. My staff, the development team, Bianca Wilson, Deja Green, during the transition when they were selecting a new executive director, they pretty much ran the office with the help, of course, of the supervisor, but did a fantastic job. I received a NISA County Grant for Professional Development and also was awarded this 2020 South Carolina Power Team Scholarship for Professional Development. I'm currently undergoing 3 certifications. I've just finished one class, one of 6 classes with the International Economic Development Council. On Thursday night, I'll begin the first class for the South Carolina Economic Development Association Institute, and also taking the Project Management Institute certification online as well. We can't discuss a lot about the projects that we're working with because of proprietary and confidential information regarding those companies. But I look forward to coming back to this podium many times in 2020 to discuss the completion of those projects, one of which is on the agenda for tonight. So thank you very much. Look forward to 2020. One of the things that we are seeing is that a lot of the businesses and industries that are coming to Williamsburg County were initially interested in markets like Charleston and Berkeley, and then realized that the real estate and some of those opportunities were a little cost prohibitive, and starting to look at Williamsburg County. But the goal of our department is to make Williamsburg County a desired destination. So we want companies and industries to start preferring us as their primary choice. But again, look forward to a successful 2020, and I really appreciate this opportunity to serve in this capacity. And if this is part of my evaluation, I hope that you allow me to stay.
Our EMS director.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Judy McCrae, and I'm the Director of EMS. I was offered and received this position in November of 2019, and I'm honored to be your Director of EMS to represent the county with its emergency needs. Since I've stepped in as Director, one of the first things I've done was update our EMS uniforms. Madam Supervisor could comment and all that. We've switched over to the golf shirts, which are much more adaptable to the needs of our working conditions that we work in day and night. And it's really helped with morale with crew members. They're much more pleased and much more comfortable working in these uniforms. I've also picked up the reins of the new EMS station that's being built and almost completed in Stuckey, and we are very excited about getting into this station. We're pretty close to the end of this and looking forward to it, so we hope our move is gonna be pretty soon. That's one of the things our big goal is on that. Second is our new headquarters EMS and fire station. We're in the very beginning stages of it. We're just doing some land prepping, but we're excited about getting into that. And one of the other things with the crew members that they have been looking forward to is just getting into these new buildings, and we're excited. A couple other things we've had going on is some grants. We've received 2 grants. One of them was prior to me coming in. I had already been started. I have just been completing it, and it's actually completed. This is gonna provide new equipment that's gonna be more efficient for patients and safer for EMS employees. It's updated equipment, which we really needed in the county to provide better care for our citizens. Second one is a grant that I started after I stepped in, and we just found out recently that we also got this grant, so we're in the process of ordering this new equipment, which is another thing that will help with the citizens and their care and the safety of our EMS employees. We run over, last year, 6,500 calls. So just having anything updated makes a big difference with us. We've got some other ideas we're in the process of working on and implementing in the future, which will include some more grants, hopefully some more building and or additions, just some things like this that will help our citizens and our staff. I'd like to thank all of you for your continued support of EMS and our staff, and hopefully you won't have to see us in the white and orange truck.
Fire department?
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Basically, we'd like to start off by thanking each citizen for our new fire EMS. Because she said EMS fire, I said fire EMS. Headquarters station, which will be located on Highway 377. Winsburg County Fire Department, we have reduced our ISO rating again to a 4/4 wide. Simply meaning if you are, your house insurance should be, that classification on your policy should read a 4. If you're within 1,000 feet of a hydrant and within 5 miles of a fire station, you are classified as a 4. If you are a 4 wide, then you're classified basically because you don't have a hydrant near your house within 1,000 feet or a fire station within 5 miles of your residence. But we no longer classified as a 10. So folks should have seen and continue seeing a decrease in their insurance. Because Winsburg County is classified as a 4/4 wide. If anybody want any more information on that, please call me at the office of Rondell at 843-355-5383. Winsburg County Fire Department, we did a community risk reduction. We installed over 500 smoke detectors throughout Winsburg County doing blitzes with the help of Red Cross and South Carolina Fire Academy and the smoke detectors. We have went out in the community and spoke with over 2,500 citizens on fire safety. That's something that we constantly do in fire prevention, on being fire safe for us, electrical, and what to do before the changing of the weather with your furnaces. We also proud to say that we have 2 certified employees that they are nationally certified in installing child car seats. You know, the law says we must have somebody in the county that can install, and we have 2 that through the Fire Academy certified to do that. Install the child car seat safely. Winsburg County Fire Department, right now at this point, we have over we responded over 1,400 calls last year. Over 1,400 calls. We have about 118 volunteer firemen, 11 paid
11 paid firemen. We cover over 800 square miles of this county. So that's where we at today. And without the volunteers, and I put them on that pedestal all day, the fire department wouldn't exist. So I thank them, and I thank you all.
Thank you, Chief. Next, Finance Department. May I remind you all of your time?
You're doing pretty good now. Keep going, I'm right there.
Good evening, Supervisor Wright, members of council, citizens, and any other elected officials here with us today. First, I would like to introduce the members of our new finance team. In her absence, Brenda McDonald, our Deputy Finance Director, and senior members of the team. Bill Paps, our Accounts Payable Clerk, who has been with us for 4 months. Meredith Green, our Capital Project Sales Tax Manager, who has been with us for 7 months. Our 2019 accomplishment will be centered around 4 areas tonight: financial, leadership, county departments, and community, state, and local government. In the financial area, we restructured $1.2 million balloon payment, saving the county our credit rating, interest, and other and opportunities to do more financing for needed equipment. We funded new heavy equipment and other capital improvement items. The CBS streaming system for council chamber, technology for county departments, and also the Veteran Affairs building. We maintain timely financial progress report of each capital project sales and tax project in the county in order to provide updates as needed. We also conducted regular budget and monitoring because of the situation that we found ourselves in. We found that it was very important so that we can track spending more on a consistent basis so we can stay in a good place. We also improved the processing of invoices thanks to the credit of our new accounts payable person. We improved the audit preparation process. There are some things that we've done in the process that were not done in the past, and we're doing it today. Under the leadership, we conducted regular progress meeting with our new finance team. When 3/4 of your finance team is new, you have to meet with them on a regular basis to make sure that we're all on the same page. We work with the county supervisor, chief of administration, and chief of public services to improve accountability and transparency of county government. We also provided budgetary support to county council and county departments. We created a budget manual for new county council members, and we hope that you enjoyed reading it. On the county department level, we developed an email address for accounts payable to consolidate vendors' emails and invoices for efficient viewing and verification of vendor invoices. And we want to give our new accounts payable clerk credit for that process. We also implemented scanning of all vendor invoices to be able to retrieve them in a timely and efficient manner during our annual audit process. So that's one of the improvements in the audit preparation process as well. We provided county department with monthly budget reports to monitor spending at the department level. On the community, state, and local government level, because we are a new team, we have to establish relationships, and we establish collaborative working relationship with capital project sales tax architects, Meredith, our capital project sales tax manager, engineers, and the municipalities who have the capital project sales tax projects through the 1 cent penny tax.
We created a citizen guide to the Williamsburg County budget. We wanted the citizens to have a better understanding of our budget process. And we established good working relationship with federal, state, and local agency. The finance team has a new team. We feel like we have accomplished a whole lot during 2019, and we hope to accomplish more in 2020. Thank you.
Thank you. Grants Department? Now, y'all time gonna start from the time y'all start walking up here, so move quickly. I want y'all to know.
Good evening. I'm LaTanya Parker, and this is Sophia Gamble, and shortly after taking on the position of grants administrators, Ms. Gamble and I obtained 2 days of professional development at the 2019 Grant Writing USA Seminar in Charleston. Ms. Gamble and I also became active members of the PD Coalition. Ms. Gamble and I are both staff liaisons for the Williamsburg County Transportation Committee, and our roles include organizing quarterly and quality meetings to conduct administrative duties for the transportation goals of the committee. We are receiving ongoing training and consultation for the researching, monitoring, processing reimbursements, and tracking of grants. We were both introduced to understanding the general ledger, the grant accounts and budgets, and Dr. Wright also shared with us a variety of methods for seeking a variety of funding sources. Most recently, in addition to the grants that Ms. Judy mentioned, we were awarded 5 USDA grants for the airport equipment, the detention center improvements grant, the fire brush truck skid tanks grant, the landfill equipment grant, and the sheriff's office equipment grant. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Human Resource cannot be here today. IT Department. Going once, going twice. So library. Anyone from the library? Magistrate office under Ms. Chief of Magistrate, Mr. Loris Williams. She could not be here tonight, so I'm just sending her a shout out. PIO and marketing.
To Madam Supervisor, ladies and gentlemen of the council, and all assembled, I say good evening. The Media and Marketing Department is a new department within Williamsburg County government. It is run by Summer Baxley and myself, Jeff Singleton. That's Jeffsingleton. You laugh, but I went to PIO school. In school, whatever you are recorded, you're supposed to spell your name so they get it right. Is that great, Michelle? Just showing you how to learn. Presently, we have 2 forms of communication, Facebook and a YouTube channel. It is very important to reach as many citizens as possible, and that's what we try to do. We've had several campaigns during the past year. One was a soup chat where we went to all 7 counties to give information and have question and answer sessions done by the supervisor. We established the end of the month, Employee of the Month and Department of the Month programs, which was voted by citizens as well as staff. We had Popcorn Friday. Every Friday during the summer months, we had popcorn from 1 until 3 p.m. We are currently in production of an infomercial of Williamsburg County. We've established a program, Footprints in Williamsburg County, which honors the legacy of a prominent citizen. Decades of Citizenship Award goes to someone who is 80 years plus. For Nurses Appreciation Week, we delivered flowers and cards to the Williamsburg Regional Hospital and the Carlisle Nursing Home. And we had a back to school welcome. The first and second day of schools, we went to the schools and greeted children coming back to school for the new year. We've had a few workshops, one on heirs property so that citizens can learn about that process. Due to the tragedies that we had in the county, we had a grief counseling seminar, which was very good. We had a housing workshop so that citizens could learn of the loans and grants given by USDA. And we had hereditary cancer testing. If you had traces of cancer in your family, it was a good time to be tested for that. The turnout was good. For moral support, we had Thanksgiving celebration, we had Food Fridays, where there was a certain thing that we did on Friday staff-wide. Department Christmas tree decorating. We had a Christmas decoration contest. We had a food truck on site. And for community outreach, we participated in the Blocktoberfest, which was given by the Chamber. Summer and I are on the steering committee of the town of King Street because they're revitalizing downtown King Street in a big way. We participated in a Taste of Williamsburg, a fundraiser through Williamsburg Tech, and we supported the welding class at Williamsburg Tech. Summer and I went out and secured 30 barrels for the welding students to make grills, and they turned out really, really well. And social media, Facebook, and YouTube. Our social media has grown 64% since its inception, and we hope that it can go further than that. And I'm up here by myself because Summer Baxter said she had to watch the camera.
Public Works. Remember, I said your time start when y'all. I call your name.
Since my time stopped, the Public Works Department is made up of 7 divisions. Recycling. Yes. I'm going to talk about some of the highlights. Thank you. We was able to purchase much needed equipment for road and bridges, solid waste, and the landfill. Much needed trucks for solid waste and road and bridges. We went from a work zone schedule to a 7 council district, which is working out real great. We complete work orders and road requests that are maintained per district, and they are posted on the county website. We was able to clean the King Street Canal before Hurricane Dorian, which was a great success. We successfully hauled 440 loads of gravel to meet the CTC requirement. We have a new work order system where we can track work orders on a daily basis. We was awarded $25,000 grant from the Solid Waste Authority through DHEC to purchase 6 roll-off tub-style containers, 30 cubic yards. We also was awarded or used our grant from DHEC for gas oil mixture 500-gallon tank to go to Indiantown, Earls, and Bethesda recycling center. We was also awarded a tire grant through DHEC for contractor costs for removal of tires from the landfill. We was told that we are the best organized Class 2 landfill in the state of South Carolina. We are working so hard to keep what is recyclable out of our landfill because our life expectancy of the landfill in Saltus is 2028. Meaning that 2028, our landfill is supposed to close. Some of our goals are to organize and operate all work and maintenance on road, bridges, and drainage improvement. Assure the allocation of equipment, material, and personnel for maintenance of road and bridges. Coordinate with the county citizen, employees, and officials to develop and implement long and short-term plans. Maintain and enhance the delivery of service provided in Williamsburg County Public Works Department. To provide the citizen of Williamsburg County with a clean and safe environment at all recycling sites. To ensure all trash containers are dumped and cleaned on a daily basis, as well as this trash compactor. We believe that working together, we become empowered and are able to meet the goals set for our department. Thank you.
Thank you. Our probate judge.
As a team tonight, okay? And we're bringing one of our own. As the saying goes, we're a small church with a big heart, well, we're a small staff with a big task. Probate court. I am your probate judge for Williamsburg County, and I'd like to thank all of you, to the supervisors, county council members, all of the citizens, all of our elected and appointed officials. I am Betty Matthews. In probate court, we're responsible for maintaining marriage license,
Our estate records are GCs, which are conservators and guardianships, and assisting the local alcohol and drug abuse center and mental health with judicial commitments. I have with me today my staff of two, which is my associate probate judge, Lakeisha Hugh, and my GC and mental health clerk, Janie Wall. Our main mission here is to serve the citizens of Williamsburg County in the most efficient, professional, and compassionate manner possible. Our marriage license go back to 1911, and in 2019, we issued 125 marriage licenses. Our estate records go back to 1806, and in 2019, we opened 360 estate cases, assisting the citizens of Williamsburg County with probating the estates of their loved ones. We closed 331 estate cases. Our conservator cases, we opened 14 conservator cases for those who may be incapacitated or incompetent to handle their own affairs. A conservator must be appointed. We closed 21 cases, and we have remaining 84 conservator cases that we now manage. In 2019, we assisted mental health and the local alcohol and drug abuse center with 36 hearings for judicial commitment. I'd like to thank our local sheriff's department for assisting us with our hearings. When you may call the probate court's office, and you may get the answer that the probate judge is not in the office. Well, a lot of times I'm not in the office because of the mental hearings and alcohol and drug abuse hearings. Not only do I hold hearings here in Williamsburg County, but whenever there's a resident that leaves and is committed to a facility outside of the county and they need a judicial commitment or a judicial hearing, then I have to travel outside of the county to hold those hearings. We work closely in probate court with other departments like the treasurer's office. We get information from the clerk of court's office, the tax assessor's office, and the auditor's office. This helps us to assist our customers with the inventory and appraisements of their estates. We are looking forward to the year 2020 and what's coming up. And we're looking forward to you all coming and witnessing our probate workshops and trainings. Also, I'd like to ask the county council to work closely with our county supervisor and our sheriff's department in obtaining cameras for our file office, our file area, because we wouldn't want any of your ancestors' records to be missing. If we have that security system up, it will deter people from taking the files. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. Next on the list is our recreation department.
There you go. Good evening. Just to recap some of the highlights for 2019 with the Recreation Department, Talk Rights Rouse. I will start with some of the agencies that we were able to continue to partner with for job seekers. Some of them were South Carolina Works, DSS, Goodwill. Although in working with those are just people that they place at certain sites to work. This past year, we did have a lot of employees that have been with us for a long, long time, and a lot of them have retired, so we're in hopes that you all will allow us to, fill those positions. With that, we had an opportunity to host an Easter event, and the partners with that was the Sheriff's Office, the Detention Center, Emergency Management, and the Transit. For the last 2 years, the Recreation Department, along with the Sheriff's Office, has held its music festival, which is held the last Saturday in July. And I can truly say for the last 2 years, it's been very successful. If you haven't been, I would entrust that you all will come out and enjoy the festivities that we have every year. 2 grants funded. I would have to say that these grant funding was already in place prior to my transition. However, we were able to complete those. One was at the Raymond Scott, which is in District 5, Mr. Andy McKnight, and that grant funded source was through USDA. The other one came from the delegation, which happened in District 3 under Councilman Miller at the St. Lawrence Park. The other thing that we were able to do, the staff kind of wanted to touch up or bring some life, as they put it, to the front of our facility. So if you haven't been, you'll see some little landscaping, so stop by. This year we had an opportunity to establish an 8U football team for the first year. And this is just 8U, so that's 7 and 8-year-olds. In the past, we just had primarily 8 and 9 and up. But this year, these individuals had an opportunity to play for our All-Star team. Although they didn't win, 7 and 8, they just like to have fun. The other thing we were able to do with Head Start, and that's both Elaine's and Chavis, they reached out and wanted to fill a Christmas bag with toys. I can truly thank the departments that took it, I think, out of their personal pockets to help fill this endeavor, and that goes out to the Veterans Affairs, Public Works, Landfill, Solid Waste, Clerk of Court, the Magistrate Court, Animal Care and Control, the Sheriff's Office, the Detention Center, the Emergency Management Division, Supervisor and the Supervisor Admin. And again, these were personal contributions, so again, thank you all for what you've given. I would also like to close by thanking the Sheriff's Office for any time we have a game. They always be willing to provide us with security. To Emergency Management for allowing us to use the Recovery Center for practices. For transit, yeah, thank you all for hauling our participants up and down the road. And definitely to Public Works, when we need anything for our parks, they're able to come. Again, thank you all for allowing us to do what we've done for 2019, and we look forward to 2020. Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna have the sheriff next, and then after that, IT has poked their hand in. So, Sheriff.
Oh man, I got my team. Hey, I don't have to speak about community involvement. You took care of that already. Anyhow, the sheriff office is all about building strong relationships between law enforcement and the community. One of the things that I wanted to touch on, I'm on the blue. I already told you that green is 3 minutes. I'm on 5. But anyhow, so I wanted to explain our structure and workforce. A lot of times people think, well, what are they doing? I hear all the time, at the gas station, they ain't doing nothing. But let me give you some dynamics. Our patrol division is made up of 17 deputies. CID, that's criminal investigations. It's made up of 6 people, narcotics, 2 people. So when you wonder why they can't solve all the drug problems, we got 2 deputies working drug crimes. Civil Process Division, 5. School Resource Officers, 4. Victim Services, 2. Security Deputies, 4. Transport Division, 2. Detention Center, 33. Dispatch, 16. EMD, 8. Environmental Services, when it comes to trash, we got 2 people working trash. We try to use our resources for 2. Administrative Team, 3. And Executive Level Team, 5. Our Patrol Division, that's our front line of what we do. That's the people you see out 24 hours, 365 days a year. But that's technically all of us, because we what? Don't have a lot of people, so we have to fill in and get out and work. I want to give you something. When I go back to the gas station scenario, a lot of times people say, I seen this deputy sitting here, they ain't doing nothing. Let me tell you, these guys get out and work, and they worked hard in 2019. 2019 was a very hard year for us. 2 things to measure, hey, what did they do? Is reports written and summons written. They took in 2,383 reports that were written. It doesn't say, hey, how many calls they went to. That's just what they filed reports on. That doesn't say how much time they spent in that. Next thing, they issued 722 traffic citations. So 77% of their time and 23% of their time, 77 on doing reports, 23% on writing citations. Now, the index of crimes, this is what people look at. This goes back to you, Gillian. And anyhow, this is what people look at when they say, hey, why do I want to come to Williamsburg County? What's going on here? Give you some interesting numbers. We're going to start up at the top. I like to start off bad and work down. So, murder. I could use a nice word, homicide, but let's use a nice word. 2017, 1, 2018, 4, 2019, 10. So that's a 150% increase. I'm going to get back to that. Next crimes. Aggravated assault, there was a 2% increase. Not a lot of noise. Burglary, a minus 21%. Auto break-in, a minus 23%. Good Lord, I can't see. Auto theft, minus 17%. General larceny, minus 21%. Weapon crimes, a minus 3.57%. Vandalism, a minus 10.8%. And robberies, 1%. Increase, that's not a lot of noise and variation. So, let's go back total numbers. 2017, there was 1,055 index crimes total for the areas I identified to you. 2018, 1,011. 2019, 865. So what's that say? We are out working and we being proactive. Contrary to what you hear, sometimes people, they ain't doing nothing. The crime rate has come down. It's come down to 14.44%. So that's a reduction. And the numbers I give you, like I said, if you want to see them, I'll be glad to show them to you. But there's been a decrease. All right, our civil process division. That's our people that go out and serve papers. Excellent job. You know, it's a daunting task to go out from 8 to 5 and try to track people down and say, hey, I got some papers I want to serve. Because most people are like, ain't me, my name is Steve. But anyhow, so 4D papers, they serve 176. The rules for 4D, 364. Summons and complaint, 1,754 and 683. Now, going back to our success stories, I think there's a lot of things sometimes, you know, you need to put the good out there. The Sheriff's Office acquired funding from the Department of Education for 4 SRO deputies to be placed in 4 schools in Williamsburg County School District. So at this time, in each of the high schools, there's an SRO. There's a deputy in each school, and at one of our middle schools, which is the one in King Street. But one good thing about this is the funding of the salaries and fringe benefits is being funded by the state. Now, they didn't account for vehicles and uniforms, of course that's on the cost, but they did us a big favor. The success there is that we actually have law enforcement officers in our schools able to interact with our kids. That's a great thing. The next thing, all those numbers that I gave you, we only had one victim advocate. So one of the things that we've also had is we were again this year in 2019, we received funding from the Attorney General's office so that we could fund a leaver position. Now, wonderful thing about the Attorney General grant is they fund everything. So that's a great thing. But that doesn't come to the expense that we have to come up here and complain about I need money. All right, next thing. This is something good that we started, and it's actually kind of interesting. We began providing community-based assistance to seniors with a support chaplain. This chaplain checks on the well-being of 18 seniors in our community. Now, I imagine that'll probably increase now, right? Yeah. But what they do is they go out. You know, we got a growing population of the elder people. A lot of people that live by themselves. And I don't want to describe the calls, but we end up with certain type of calls. So one good thing that makes them feel safer is somebody to go by and check on them and just to talk. So if you know someone that needs that, let us know. We have someone that just does that. You know, go out and make sure, hey, this person's all right, because you'd be surprised some of the calls that we get by not doing those things. The Sheriff's Office is changing over to a new RMS system. I think that'll be a great thing. That'll give us the ability to put out statistics and allow us to be uniform in how we obtain information. We replaced over 50% of our vehicle fleet. I would use this number, but I better not say that. But anyhow, we still got ways to go to help us save on our maintenance costs and giving us safer vehicles. One thing Ms. Judy brought up is you know, the 125, and I think we've stated that before, but we're getting to where we're able to cut our maintenance costs. The next thing goes back to the index crimes. The Sheriff's Office had 10 murders in 2019. Through teamwork and the support of assistant agencies, the Sheriff's Office solved 8 of the 10 murders. Now, that's why I want to stop right there. I hear all the time we can't solve a crime. That is not true. The deputies working at that Sheriff's Office down there work hard. I gave you the numbers not to be sarcastic. I gave you the numbers to show that that's the dedication of men and women there. Because they want to serve this community. They want to work. They work long hours. They're missing from their families. But that's a result of what they do. And that's a result of the teamwork of all your law enforcement in this community. So this gave the Sheriff's Office a clearance rate of 80% for this violent offense. Because the one thing, while property crimes has gone down, as I told you, the one thing that we all have a problem with across the state is not just in Williamsburg County. So please don't leave here thinking that this is just here. This is across the state. Look it up. The numbers are there. Violent crime is on the rise everywhere. I anticipated doing my point, but that's Tommy, so we all got to be together to watch out for Tommy, because that's how we can take care of Tommy. Active shooter presentations is something that we do. We started off doing that with just churches, but that's grown to the population of even businesses, anything we do, even here. You know, how do we prepare for that? How do we protect ourselves? That's the day and time that we live in. And the last part is the passion to serve others doesn't end after each shift. Our deputies are intertwined in our community, giving back and helping to make Williamsburg County a better and more vibrant place to live. That'll help you with economic development. Thank you for your time. And if we can ever be helped, call us at the Sheriff's Office. I want to say something?
Good afternoon. My name is Vivian Buffett. I'm the Director of Williamsburg County Emergency Management and 911. Some of our highlights for 2019. We host a spring and fall distribution each year that service over 1,000 citizens with fresh vegetables and fruits. We have earthquake workshops, we did a pod workshop, we host CPR classes on ever so often. We also host blood drive. We had a public safety awareness fair. We also partner with Williamsburg County School District during the summer months, and we go around to all of the elementary schools and teach the children about how to prepare for storms and also when to call and when not to call 911. We also have a simulator trailer. If you haven't seen it, it's on the grounds of the rec department, where we go to schools, special events throughout the county. We also hosted tornadoes and earthquake drills at all of the schools in Williamsburg County. We hosted 7 concealed weapons classes. We have one person who serviced all of the public safety radio equipment for all the public safety agencies. We also house and help support the U.S. Postal inspectors from September 24th until December the 4th. So they were with us for a while. We have monthly CERT classes, monthly co-ed meetings. We also have AmeriCorps, which is housed inside of the emergency management office, and he's there on a daily basis. We also have Red Cross, which is housed in our building. He comes every Wednesday. Williamsburg County Dispatch answered 65,562 calls in 2019. They dispatched for both city and county. For law enforcement alone, they dispatched 23,331 calls. For EMS, they dispatched 6,814 calls. And for both city and county, for the fire department, they dispatched 25,212 calls for 2019. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, IT, you up again.
Information technology. With technology, we can do things like talk to you without standing in front of you. And appear out of places where you don't see me coming. My time also started on time. If you look up information technology, you'll see it's defined as the use of computers to store, retrieve, transmit, and manipulate data or information. IT works with every county, every person in the city, in the county. Let me tell you how. Think of IT as illustration. If IT was the heart, we got veins going out to every department, every city. In those veins, instead of bodily fluids, we're sending information back and forth. We work with every department, just like taxes. Kim, Norman, and when they talk, we work with them and their vendors. Sheriff office, with their vendors. SLED, get information out. 911, your calls. Communication could mean somebody's life. IT is there. Clerk's office, with that new program they talked about, PACS, we there. Talking to them, implementing, installing. IT is more than just computers. It's computers, cell phones, networking, tablets, servers, firewalls, protection, anything you can think of. One person said to me that IT deals with anything that plugs into the wall or has a battery. And we get those calls. We have over 30 departments. And in those departments, you all have more than one vendor that y'all deal with. So right there, that's over 30 departments and over 60 vendors that we deal with on a daily basis. It is not unusual for us to deal with 20 to 30 calls a day coming in through emails, phone calls to our desk, phone calls to our cell phones, text messages, chat messages. And we have to be available 24/7 to answer those calls to make sure that each and every one of you can work and do your job to provide services to each other and to the citizens of Williamsburg County. So, what about disasters? IT is there. We stay here because, like I said, communication is a major factor with IT. Telephones also. We're one of the few counties of this side where IT controls and programs the phone system for our entire county. We also deal with outside agencies here in IT, like voter registration. At one time, we were the only IT department in the state that did and processed elections. And as y'all know, we just got some new election machines that we're working with to get ready for the next presidential process coming up. So on top of our other duties, we have other duties. Everything that we do to help citizens of Williamsburg County and customers. And as you can see with technology, my time is also up. So I'm going to step away from the mic.
Thank you. Tax assessor could not be here. Transit? That's fine.
Good evening to everyone. My name is Jeanette Jordan. I'm the interim executive director at Transit. For those of us at Williamsburg County Transit, 2019 was quite a learning experience. We acquired 2 new 22-passenger cutaway vehicles. We advanced our technological and communication assets by implementing one of the most sophisticated dispatching software that included the utilization of tablets, extensive driver and staff training, and vehicle map tracking. Our rodeo team participated on the state level in March at the rodeo. They placed 3rd and also participated in regional rodeos. This participation allowed them an opportunity, a learning opportunity, as well as a chance to refresh and enhance the skills that are required in the daily operation of their duties. We participated in county and local events and festivals to promote our services to the citizens of Williamsburg County. And it is quite clear, our world was then turned upside down. There have been so many changes that no one could have anticipated but have occurred. We're in the process of turning our lemons into lemonade. It is a challenge, but we continue to work with the Williamsburg County government as well as with our state partners to meet these challenges and move forward. We must do so. We will recruit qualified and safety-conscious drivers as well as support personnel, and also take advantage of all the learning opportunities offered to us by the county as well as our state partners. This will allow us to move forward by learning things that we may not be aware of, but we need to know to succeed. We will find ways to improve the morale of our employees. By improving morale, we keep our employees happy, as well the people of Williamsburg County, our citizens will see that, it will show in their work, and that is what we need. We will continue to promote and market the services of Williamsburg County Transit to the community to increase their awareness. There are so many people out there who still are not aware of what we provide. And there is a need amongst our community for people who have a lack of transportation to be able to get to the places they need to go. And that is the business that we are in for the citizens of Williamsburg County. All of these goals will culminate in increasing revenues as well as ridership, and it can be achieved through cooperation, communication, respect, and pride in a job well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Veterans Affairs. Oh, very good.
I'm Robert McClary, Williamsburg County Veteran Affairs. I want everybody to understand our office has 2 employees. We handle pensions, compensation claims, insurance, education, funeral benefits, health care benefits, survivor and family benefits, home modifications, and we service homebound veterans in Williamsburg County with 2 people covering 937 square miles. I want you to realize that, 2 people. Our office is continuing to be nationally accredited. We have to do 80 hours of continuing education during a year per person. And I'm gonna cut some cliff notes short because I wanna tell a quick story at the end. In 2018, we had almost 2,500 veterans in the county. The total dollar benefit for Williamsburg County we brought in was $24.1 million. Over 2019, we've lost almost 400 veterans due to attrition of leaving or deaths. But we've continued to increase the benefit to $24.9 million with 400 personnel lost. I'm very proud of that with our office. But the biggest thing on tonight, I want everybody to realize, and the sheriff brought this up a while ago, and I'm gonna bust him out right here. The council needs to realize how the departments are actually working together now. And I'm gonna give you an example. I had my assistant out on maternity leave this year. I had a meeting I had to be to the governor's office. I get a phone call from a 90-year-old widow who has a 60-year-old mentally handicapped son who is lost and stole a car. I don't know where to start. I got one person in my office. We got 937 square miles. I call the sheriff's office. We find the veteran in Horry County being held at the detention center, not for a crime, but because he's lost. The mother can't get there. I can't get there. I got to go to the governor's office. The sheriff's office covered down and went and picked that veteran up, brought him home safely, got him to his mother, and she was calm. But I want everybody to realize here, that's not just our 2 departments, that's every department out here, okay? And we need more stories like that going out in the county. And all I ever hear with the county is bickering about money and everything else. We need to use the resources we got and make it work. And that is my time.
Last but of course not least, our voter registration, Ms. Edith could not be here. I believe she's conducting classes for the new voter machine and for the election. So our next is our water department.
Is everybody happy? I'm the last one. I'm Lane Nixon, Williamsburg County Water and Sewer. Just want to go over a few accomplishments that we made in 2019. Number one, we initiated an online and automated phone payment system for our water customers. This was long overdue. We started this in April 2019. This allows the customers to pay their monthly water bill with a credit card, debit card on the county website, number one, or they can call and go through an automated line over the phone system and key in the credit card numbers over the phone. You don't have to speak to a utility billing clerk, and also don't have to wait on one to answer the phone so they can give them that information. So we're real fortunate to have that in the process. Next accomplishment was we completed construction of the Bethesda Water Project. The areas include the I-Gram from Century Lane north to Cade Road. Then we took east on Cade Road, went down to Bradley Bay Road, covered Bradley Bay Road all the way up to almost Dewey Cox Road. Also got Meadow Lane. We began that November 2018, and we finished up in August 2019. That project cost us a little over $800,000, but roughly 90% of that was funded by CDBG and RIA grants. So we didn't have to come up with all that money. Total length of the project was 6 miles. We added 40 new customers. Next project that we just got started on, the Tri-Earl Water Project Division 1. This area includes Highway 377, south of I-21, Marion Church Road, Charleston Road, Santee Road, Jane Harvin Road. I could go on and on, but I'll just kind of give you the area. We'll eventually go east to Tad Road on Seaboard and Highway 521. We began that in July 2019. It's an 18-month project, so we're expected to complete that by January 2021. That project cost over $2 million. It's funded by $10 million, excuse me, funded by USDA Rural Development grant and loan combination. All in all, it's 60 miles of water line. When we first bid the project out, we had 245 people signed up to connect, and we know as construction is ongoing, we have more and more people coming in ready to connect. Next, we completed a vegetation management system around all of the county-owned fire hydrants. I know Chief Slinton, I think he must have already left, but I know he'd be glad that we got that done so he can see the fire hydrants in the middle of the night, grass and pine trees and all going up around. County owns 986 hydrants total. We had a contractor come in, actually cut the vegetation and sprayed around 633, similar to a Roundup mix. And some of them he only had to spray around, that was 272. So we're glad to get that done. Finished that up this past fall. Lastly, we installed a total of 46 new water taps. That's outside of these other major construction projects. Brings our total up to 2,847 total customers. Just to put that in perspective, when I first came to work here in 2012, we had 905. So we have over tripled our customer count. So pretty good accomplishment. Thank you.
Well, just when I thought I was finished, how did I leave out our GIS mapping section? So please, come on up. And I promise y'all that's the last of us.
Good afternoon. This office, I'm sorry. My name is Joanna Letts, and I'm in the GIS Addressing and Mapping office. This office has one employee that maintains the database for the entire county and all the first responders and other agencies. Once that information enters the system, other offices can see it, which are used for their transactions, such as the assessors, the auditors, and everyone else that need water and sewer, tax assessor, and especially the citizens that use the GIS online. Williamsburg County GIS means Geographical Information System. Database is a continued process as citizens frequently change addresses, whether they're moving to another locale, building structure, or adding something which may require an address for utility purposes. For our farmers, real estate agents, SEC or FTC, lawyers, to name a few. Our system is user-friendly, which enables and is helpful to the citizens to find information on the GIS information data detailing a variety of features in Williamsburg County. Now, all I'm telling you, this information is on the county website. On the map, to use our Think GIS tools, you select from the tool menu and point to any location on the GIS list, all named boundaries that contain within those margins. And I ask you to go on it and play with it a little bit so you can understand what I'm talking about. Currently, cemeteries are being added to the database. There have been a growing demand for cemetery addresses for various reasons. Once this project is completed, you'll be able to see the name and the address of your desired search. This is a slow process as a lot of trustees and overseers are deceased that are listed on some of the old cemetery deeds. No matter how daunting yet challenging the task becomes, we will administer addresses and strive to locate possible parties. This office also makes maps for law enforcement, and I was recently involved with the postal worker. I help with that. We make maps for potential political candidates, whether it is city, county, or school board. Receive requests for new road names and signs. I haven't received too many, but when I do, I refer it to our sign tech who's housed at the EMD's office. New addresses and layers. I'm working on that. JS have several hundred new addresses in 2019. Our cemetery listing, as I said, is in the progress. County recycling sites, I made a layer for that. County fire stations, county structure, county recreation parks and buildings. Thanks to Dr. Rice, she got me working on that one. Currently working on bridges with the help from our DOTs, helping with that. Because sometimes the dispatchers may not know where the bridges are, but our first responders may know. But the dispatchers also need to know. That needs to pop up on the screen for them. We are currently working with other layers, and that's to be announced, because that's work in progress. I have increasingly growing entry of churches. Once a store closes, a church pops up. Trust me. Actively working with LCAT, Little Control Act Team, the Palmetto Pride, team up to clean up. Our senator made reference to that when he talked about our team up to clean up. The goals, one day in the not so distant future, be able to enter into my system, and that information is automatically updated to the CAD, to 911 dispatch center, without going through a lengthy uploading process. They know what I'm talking about. All right. The greatest and accommodating grace is this office's relocation convenience for the citizens. I thank Dr. Wright for her vision. This enables the citizens to be assisted in a timely manner versus having them stressed out driving from the PSA building to the EMD building. And trust me, by the time they get to me, they're really worked up. So now they just go across the hall and get worked up. They from code enforcement to the assessor's office, and sometimes treasurer's office. They get upset with them too. So they come in my office and vent. I thank you.
All right, let's please give all, Jeff, you have something to say?
Yeah.
You ain't no one.
Yeah, yes ma'am. One thing I wanted to address, because it was addressed in open forum, was Judge Matthews and council to that problem with the cameras. What she didn't realize and council don't realize is IT met with grants and administration last week and made phone calls and addressed that, and that we're looking for a USDA security grant to address your problem currently.
Great.
Always working behind the scenes.
Let's give all of our county team a round of applause. Alongside of a team such as this, many diverse, many different levels of experience. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see what we're going to do in 2020. So for that, Team Williamsburg, I understand you guys, some of y'all on the clock, y'all can go to the house if you want to leave before we begin our regularly scheduled council meeting, which I am now calling to order. Our invocation will be held by Senior Pastor Mary Scott Nelson, who is the overseer of Miracle Temple Bible Center, where Pastor Omar Montgomery is the pastor.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Madam Chairman, to put our minds together
Y'all would.
and in our spirit approach the throne of God. Our Father in heaven, we come in this place, God. We come not frivolously. We come before you, the great and almighty God. We've assembled in this place to see about your business in our county. We recognize that we can't do nothing without you. But your word tells us that we can do all things with you. It is you who will give us the strength. So we, oh God, invoke your presence in this place right now. That you will touch the minds of these, God, that is ahead of our county, and give them the one mind. Help them to see the vision as one. We ask this to be done in Jesus' name. Father, we pray that you would let the vision be made broad. And of course, God, we want you to let it be plain. And most of all, we want you to know we thank you for the grace that you afforded this county. And we ask that you would lead our leaders, God, in the path of righteousness for your name's sake. For when it's all said and done, we will that you would get the glory in Williamsburg County. Oh God, give them what you would have this county to know, and give them the wisdom and the knowledge and understanding to know how to do it, so that it will bring glory to you and the citizens, oh God, can be successful. In Jesus' name, bless this meeting tonight. Let them have a gathering of mind, and whatever they put forth, may it be acceptable in thy sight, oh God. For you are our strength and you are our Redeemer. And we submit Williamsburg County to you, Lord God, for it is yours. And we thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Nelson. We need approval of minutes for the regular county council meeting that was scheduled January 21st, 2020. Any discussion? All those in favor for approval of the regularly scheduled council meeting that was scheduled January 21st, 2020, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposers the same. Next on our list, we do not have anything for third reading, but we do have second reading of ordinance 2020-03, an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee agreement by and between Williamsburg County, South Carolina, and Project Good Earth, providing for a payment of a fee in lieu of taxes and other matters related thereto. What is the pleasure of council? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor for second reading of ordinance 2020-03, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposers the same. The ayes have it, so ordered. We have first reading of ordinance 2020-04, an ordinance providing for the policies and procedures for abandonment and closure of county-maintained public roads, easements, or rights-of-way, to provide for the consent of 100% of the adjacent properties owners abutting the road, and further providing that the property owners must sign an application for road closure, acknowledging their participation in their lease and indemnification of the county from all duties to maintain the closed portion of the road. This is first reading. Pleasure of council. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor for first reading of ordinance 2020-04, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposers the same. The ayes have it, it's so ordered. We need a motion for adjournment. Second. Any discussion? I guess not. All those in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposers the same. We are adjourned. Thank you.